Hey, what's going on, my family? Thank you for clicking on this, and welcome to Israel's Movie Reviews. And today we're going to be discussing one of my favorite movies in a long time by Eddie Murphy, man. A lot of people forget this man can simply act. He's not only funny, he's not only vibrant in the characters he brings to life, but he's simply amazing, even at this age. And we're going to be discussing Mr. Church. Uh, this movie tells the story of a unique friendship that develops when a little girl and her dying mother retained the services of a talented cook. Originally wanted him for 6 months, but as she passes, he continues to stay there. His name is Henry Joseph Church, and what begins as a 6 month arrangement instead spans into 15 years and creates a family bond that lasts the test of time. And Eddie Murphy in this role, in my humble opinion, I think this is his best work in in his career. You know, we know him for The Nutty Professors. We know him for The Norbits, Beverly Hills Cop. Me personally, I loved him in Metro. And when I saw this movie, I didn't know what to think of it because I didn't see there was no trailers. It was just one of those movies I decided to I saw and I put it on. And I was pleasantly surprised. The acting in this movie was on a whole nother level. My best takeaway from this film is that it's not only possible, but probably occurs more often than one usually will consider, is that a healthy relationship along biracial lines can exist. And with this movie regarding Mr. Church, this happens in such a unique way, in such a beautiful way. Having mentioned that, though, I did find it odd that through all the circumstances that Mr. Church goes through in this movie, and you know, he plays a man named Brooks, and no one came across, with a snotty remark, not a racial remark, anything like that. It it was fitting. I actually liked that it didn't take it that far. Not every movie that's between a white woman, a black man, or white and black have to come across that way. You know, sometimes we just want to be human beings, and I love that. You know, the chemistry between him and Charlie, the little girl, played by Britt Robertson, was amazing to see. You know, I haven't seen that much chemistry in Eddie Murphy in a long time. Maybe the last time was when he was playing basically the Nutty Professor, when he was playing along with himself. And I like that, especially when the little girl ends up living with him during and after a pregnancy. It seemed like pains were taken by the filmmakers to specifically avoid racial situations, and I commend them for that. Like I said, not every movie needs to deal with that. Not everybody wants to see that. Sometimes you just want to sit down and see a good movie, because that could have blown up due to intolerance and simple ignorance. And this movie wasn't about that. What bothered me had to do with the intense secrecy that Mr. Church demanded regarding his personal life. The fact of an unhappy childhood due to, father's verbal and physical abuse while growing up didn't sound like something that, a little girl would want to listen to, but he was very private in the movie with that. Nobody really knew him in that way. They didn't know him in a private way. They just knew that he took care of this girl, he cooked for her, and he went home. But as you see the movie, he does do other things as well. And plus, the little girl wouldn't be able to process, his backstory, his tragedy. And for someone that has that kind of background, he ended up a really beautiful man. In fact, a heart-to-heart conversation between the parties might have been deeper in the movie, understanding between them, especially when she gets older. But over and all, it was still dynamic, the relationship between them. Mr. Church appeared to be exceptionally well-disciplined in matters of personal decorum around the Brooks home, and making it much more likely for him to spend 2 nights and eventually spends 15 years. So that entire dynamic didn't seem credible to me as the story progressed. But as I thought to myself, I was like, this can happen in real life. It probably happens more often than none. As a feel-good movie, the movie hits a lot of the right marks and is well recommended for a family affair. Yes, situations like Charlie's pregnancy and Mr. Church's vivid and wild tantrums when people get too close to him negate some of the positive vibes that the picture strives for. It was fascinating, however, to see a different side to Eddie's acting range. You know, it wouldn't have hurt though to see him crack a smile every now and then in a movie, but his character didn't fit that mold. It was a very nice, quiet drama based on real people, real situations, and I appreciated that. I came out of this extremely happy. You know, for all of those who have children and who get them baptized, not even their godparents would do something like what he did for this little girl. So this is definitely a must-watch if, you know, you're not feeling yourself and you want to see a eye jerker, a tear jerker. This is a nice movie to sit down and have a cup of tea, something you like, maybe a bag of chips, and definitely relax and check it out. There's nothing but positive things to say about this movie, really. And I give this 8.5 out of 10, easily. You know, hands down to Eddie Murphy, the legend. And go ahead and watch this. Let me know what you think. Would you do this? If you had somebody you loved that was really young, would you raise them? Leave your comments below. Let's have this Discord. If you liked this video, hit that like button. Hit the notification bell. And if you want more videos like this, subscribe. Peace.